Jason.
Oh my god, right. What am I doing here, Ryan? What's happening?
What are you doing?
Genuinely, like, why have you brought me here?
Well, I mean, I thought that we would just revisit the place of Sundays.
No, seriously, come on, seriously, why are we here?
No, we're here because Copper 90 asked me to come along and record a video about Timothy Weir, so just answer some
Just
questions.
help Ryan out, do you know what I mean?
Aye, that's it.
Just so I can get in with Copa 90, that's all it is. Copa, if you're watching, like invest in me, please. That's all. Nothing to do with Ryan. Don't want to help him out. Hate him. Hate his guts.
Filmography here.
Yes.
Look at it. Fantastic.
End product's gonna be sick.
It will be. I hope you all enjoyed that wee clip at the start of the video there. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the end of season awards for Celtic. Yes, it's already another year by. It feels like yesterday. I was sitting down and doing my player of the year, goal of the season and young player of the year suggestions for last season. It was honestly flew by. Another year in Celtic's history has gone by. Another successful season, you could say. Still obviously a little bit to go. I've got to see if we can go on and win the treble. There's still a job to be done. There's still work to do, and hopefully we'll see out the season in style. But in the meantime, we're here today to discuss not just the player of the year, not just the goal of the year, and not just the young player of the year. Actually, no, it's just those three. Aye, that's it. Those three awards we're here to discuss today. I mean, I right tit of that one. Those three awards we're going to discuss today. You can also vote for this yourself, just as a quick reminder. We are the ones that decide who wins the awards at the ceremonies at the end of the season. So go ahead on the Celtic's website, celticfc.net, and make sure to go and vote for your player of the year, your young player of the year, and your goal of the season. The options are on there, and we're going to briefly go over each category. I'm going to give who I think should win each award. And usually, I think 2 seasons ago anyway, I done a video obviously discussing the player of the year and such, but I added in a few more categories by myself. I done stuff like most improved player. It's, you know, just little categories like that, and like game of the year and stuff. If you want to see that kind of video, if you want to see the extra awards, then let me know in the comments. If you want me to talk about the most improved player of the year, the game of the season, stuff like that. If you want to see that kind of video, let me know in the comments below. But we'll start. I don't know whether to do the best award first or save that. We'll save that to last. I will crack on with no, do you know what? Fuck it, player of the year, because I've got the nominations up on the screen. Player of the year we're going to talk about first. Obviously, this season for Celtic has been a whirlwind of emotion. We started the season coming off the back of a double treble win. I'm trying my best not to summarise the whole season, as I'll do like a kind of end of season summary video as well, obviously. But came in off the back of a double treble win. We then went to we failed to make the Champions League, got to the Europa League, started the season rough, got our shit together. Brendan Rodgers left us, and now we find ourselves at a very decent point. We're on course to win a treble after this rough start. On course to win a treble, and I mean, everything's quite decent. We're just waiting to find out what happens with our own managerial situation and such. But we came in with basically the same squad. We didn't make too many additions. We signed Odsonne Edouard on a permanent deal. We've utilised the loan deals throughout the year. We brought in the likes of Oliver Buck, Timothy Weah, Jerry Toljan, Daniel Arzani. These are all players we all just brought in through loan alone. So we didn't really make too many permanent signings, but it's been a solid season on the front for most players. There's been a good few, some that deserve the other. So the nominations for this criteria, for this award, should I say, first off, we've got the captain, Scott Brown, followed by Scott Sinclair, Ryan Christie, Odsonne Edouard, Callum McGregor, James Forrest, Kieran Tierney, Chrissy Ayer, and Dedrick Boyata. Now, I already have picked my choice for player of the year, and I will tell you my winner in a moment, but we'll run through each candidate very quickly, and I'll give my opinion on whether or not they should be one of the top contenders for the award, or if they shouldn't be there at all. Scott Brown, I think, is up there. Obviously, he was our winner last season. Can he do it back to back? He had a fantastic 2017-18. 2018-19 off to a slow start. And it's been probably a little bit more inconsistent for him this year. A lot of people were even calling for him to get chucked out the team, replaced. We don't need him anymore. That was a genuine cry from a lot of fans at some point, that we should replace Scott Brown. So Scott Brown's had a kind of in and out season, but I think he's been more good than bad, and especially over the period since January. I think he's been a fantastic player, and he's rightfully up there. Scott Sinclair, absolutely not. Wouldn't give him the award. He obviously won the award the first year of the Brendan Rodgers tenure. after a magnificent season. He's never really played to that level since. He wouldn't get it this year in my eyes. Still scores goals, don't get me wrong. He still has the odd fantastic performance, but there's far too many shit performances in there for me. Ryan Christie, magnificent season, really big breakthrough season for him. He's came into his own, he's shown his quality. The only thing probably standing against him in winning this award is the fact that he's been injured quite a bit and he's missed a lot of games. So Ryan Christie, potentially up there. A lot of people will probably be voting for Ryan Christie after breaking through into the team and showing the technical ability he possesses, but I think there is obviously better options on the table. Oddson Edouard, magnificent goal scorer, solid season considering how much he's missed, but once again one of the things standing his way is probably the amount of time he's missed out. He's not managed to be fully fit all season, but ultimately a big game player. And he scores big goals, and he done it at the weekend against Rangers there as well. So another shout for potentially being up there, and a lot of people will, I imagine, vote from Callum McGregor, Mr. Consistent. What else can I say? Just amazing. James Forrest, this is the one. Is this the year he deserves to get it? Arguably the favourite, arguably the man who deserves it the most here, and not taking it away from Forrest because he's had a marvellous season, and he's been outstanding out in that right wing from the start to the finish. A really great player. Kieran Tierney up there. I don't think it should be KT. As much as I love KT and as much as he is the golden boy of Celtic, as much as we're all meant to adore him and love him, missed a majority of the season through injury. So, I mean, it would be quite unjust to give it to Kieran Tierney, but you know he will get votes because it's him anyway. I love him nonetheless, but there is more deserving out there this season. Christopher Ayer, magnificent season. I think Christopher Ayer done really well and showed a great bounce back ability. Because once Benkovic came in, Ayer was kind of dropped, and we've seen that Boyata-Benkovic partnership, but Ayer still fought and still was eager to show why he deserves to be in the team, and he's done that. And arguably right now he's the best centre-half at the club. So Ayer is definitely up there for the award. And finally, Dedrick Boyata, someone who at the start of the season was vilified, someone who wasn't wanted after kind of showing that he wanted to leave the club and wasn't willing to be at the club and wasn't loyal enough to the club. But broke right through that, gained the love of the fans again, and in the process has had a superb season at the back. Great defensive attributes. Solid player, still has that dodgy moment and that kind of bomb scare ability, but he is a magnificent central defender. And this season could be his last at Celtic. Hope to see more of him, but a great season nonetheless. But for me, I spoke very briefly about him. The winner, in my eyes, has got to be Callum McGregor. James Forrest, I feel like I could be robbing him there. Just personally for me, McGregor, maybe biased because he's my favourite player and such as well. Done the same with kind of like Moussa Dembele in 2016-17. But McGregor is just week in, week out, best player in the team. Mr. Consistent, as I called him. Never fails to turn up, and in some way he always impacts the game. And this season he's done a fantastic job at alternating between attacking midfielder and defensive midfielder. He's been really toyed about in there when we're trying to work things out with Christie and Rogic. He took, and then Brown as well being balanced in there. He's really jumped about from being an attacking player and a defensive player. He's also had to turn up in occasions where he is playing in positions or roles he's not comfortable with. The main one coming to mind is when we were defeated from Rangers at Ibrox. He played at left back that day, and he was the only player who decided to turn up. He was the only player in the park for Celtic, the only good player, and that was him playing a position he never played before in his life at left back. So for me, Callum McGregor is the best player on the team. He's the player of the year for me, or the player of the season. He's just marvellous week in, week out, and the fact so many games that he plays. There was a statistic at some point that he hadn't missed a minute of fucking football, and he's played more football than any player in Europe. That was a statistic at some point. Don't know if it still stands. But unbelievable. What a player. And for me, Callum McGregor has to be the player of the year. Goal of the season. I would play the video and show you all the goals, but I'll probably get copyrighted for that, so that's not going to happen. Very briefly, this one's got to be spoken about. What can you, I'm not going to go and fucking critique every goal. That's just going to take me all day. The nominations, so we have 10 nominations. We've got first Olivier Ncham's goal against Rangers from the start of the season. You'll remember it. Don't need to describe it. Scott Sinclair versus Aberdeen, the back heel at Pataudry. Number 3 is Tom Rogic versus Hibernian. If you remember, he scalped it up the top corner. Fantastic finish. Goal 4 was at Murrayfield. It was Ryan Christie against Hearts. Goal number 5, Edouard against Aberdeen, where he chipped Joe Lewis. Fantastic finish for that goal. Number 6 was Christie versus St Johnstone. Number 7 was Brown against St Johnstone with the rocket into the top corner. Goal number 8 was Forest against Hearts. A good wee goal there. Goal number 9, even better in my opinion, from Forest against Hibernian, dribbling through the team, shooting from outside the box and busting the net. Really fantastic goal in that one. And finally, goal number 10 from the weekend, just past. Once again, you don't need me to describe it. It's Edouard against Rangers. For me, there's only one winner for the goal of the season, Scott Brown against St Johnstone. Absolute superb finish from a man who hadn't scored a league goal in about 2 years. So to finish it like that was pretty good, pretty impressive, and for me it's goal of the season. And the final award to speak about, and the final one that I will give my opinion on in this video, is the Young Player of the Year award. Obviously, Kieran Tierney has dominated this award over the past few seasons, 3 years in a row I believe he's won it. Looking to make it a fourth, and could he make it a fourth? We're going to talk about everybody, as we've done for the first award, but this one probably a bit more quicker than the last one because time is marching on in this video. I've spoke for quite a bit. So first off, we have Ewan Henderson, who's broken into the team, central midfielder, looks good. Obviously only 18 years of age, 19 now I believe. I believe I'm older than him, that's saying something. But Ewan Henderson breaking in, hopefully has a more successful career than Liam did at Celtic, who was also a good player. But does look as though he'll offer a lot in the future. He's not had tons of chances, mostly coming in those kind of Wednesday night games and such that you get Parkhead. But aye, he looks decent. Mikey Johnson, the second option, someone who I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of as time goes on. I think towards the start of the season we definitely seen a lot more of him than what we have recently. Still very young, has a lot to build on, but a marvellous looking talent, and Celtic need to keep a hold of him. Kerr McInroy, I honestly can't remember seeing anything of him in the senior team. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't remember anything at all. I've never heard his name shouted at Parkhead. I don't know if I've missed that, but he's there anyway. I can't talk about him that much. I don't know too much about him. Odds on Edouard. I mean, I basically gave all my opinions on Edouard. Was he up for Player of the Year? I was. I've gave all my opinions on Edouard. But he's up there for the Young Player of the Year. Finally, Kieran Tierney and Christopher Ayer make up this little squadron of people for the Young Player of the Year award. And for me, there's only one man that deserves this out of this, and it's Christopher Ayer. Christopher Ayer should be the Young Player of the Year award, and that's not just because of this buzz over his performance on Sunday against Rangers. Overall, all season, I feel like he's been the deserving one. He's been the one that's been fully fit. He's been in the team the most. Look, if it was either out of Edouard, Tierney and Ayer, because they're the three regulars over McInroy, Johnston and Henderson, Ayer's the only one who's been basically fit for the majority of the season and has played more minutes. And it's not even like they've just been minutes to make up for injuries and such. He's been a vital player in the park, and he's developed, he's improved, he's been great, and he's passionate, and he deserves this for me. The fear is for me, and the thing I was about to say, the fear and the thing is for me is that you get this kind of effect that everybody wants to vote for Tierney, and I feel like we really should award Christopher Ayer for his performances this season. As much as I love Kieran Tierney, I love him to bits, but he missed a lot of the season, and he still puts in positive performance. Yes, still a cracking left back, and has put in some big games this season for us. Christopher Ayer's just been more vital this season as to the defensive, the way the defensive game has had to be played, because he's been there. And for me, Christopher Ayer has to win Young Player of the Year, and that's it. That's my 3 awards: Carl McGregor, Chrissy Ayer and Scott Brown with the goal of the season. Quite simple. But if you want to vote, I will leave the link in the description below. Let me know who you vote for in the comments. Let me know your opinions to my opinions. And as always, like and subscribe. See you all next time.